start to notice your breathing patterns. Sometimes you'll notice when you're in the car running late, or if you're engaged in a difficult conversation, or if you're anxious or angry. You'll notice how the pattern of the breath changes. The breath morphs according to your mood, to the state of mind, to the pace of your day. Notice how when you're irritable, the breath becomes quick and unsteady. And then if you just take the time to stop, take a deep breath, and you watch how your mood changes. Just by how taking that one big inhalation, followed by that long, slow exhalation, how it can completely change the mindset. The breath is your guide. It's an inner mirror, a narrator. It's always with you, ever present. Respect for life, truth, and patience are all indispensable factors in the drawing of a quiet breath, and calmness of the mind and firmness of will. Take a moment here to set an intention for your practice today. Set a goal. Just a few more moments here as you lay in Shavasana to keep the body still, the mind calm, and to just be quiet. It's not often that you can just lay on your mat with no other responsibility other than to just breathe and be silent. So taking advantage of this moment, because it might be your only moment today where you can be this in tune with yourself. Take one big breath, inhale, feel the heart rise. Hold at the top. Exhale. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, big breath. Feel the ribcage expand, rising up towards the ceiling. Exhale, offer it out. One more time. Inhale, big breath. Make this your biggest, strongest one. Exhale. It's just coming back to that feeling of noticing how you feel after just taking those 3 breaths, just how much more it brought you to this moment, just how more relaxation it brought to the mind, to the heart. Go ahead, flutter the eyes open. If you're on blocks, put your arms alongside body, forearms and hands to the mat. Tuck the chin into the chest and use your core muscles to rise up off of the blocks. And then just set the blocks to the side and we'll come back down onto our backs. Start with some warm-ups, some stretches to wake up the body. So circle your arms up and overhead, stretch out long, point your toes, point them super, super hard. Inhale and then flex your feet. And then exhale, hug the knees into the chest. If you want, you can stay static, completely still, or you can even draw circles with the knees. A couple times to the right, a couple times to the left. And once you've done a couple circles, just coming back to stillness, coming back to the center where you hug the knees to the heart. Tucking chin into the chest, trying to get your spine flat to the mat if you can. Just creating more length. Notice the jaw, relax the jaw. Now keep your knees to the chest, extend your arms out long like the capital letter T, hands into the earth. Inhale, and on the exhale, let both knees fall to the right. Spinal twist. Keeping that left shoulder into the mat. Gaze is either up at the ceiling or over your left shoulder. Inhale, big breath. Feel the ribcage expand as it twists you more. And then exhale, let the body twist even more from there. Inhale, use your core muscles to bring your knees back up into tabletop, but keeping the knees kind of pulled into the chest. Inhale here, exhale, both knees fall over to the left. Gaze is either up at the sky or over the right shoulder. Inhale, exhale. And then nice and slow, using your core muscles to come back to center. Bringing both feet into the mat. Let your feet find the outer edges of the mat, so they travel to the outer edges of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, both knees are gonna fall to the right. So it's almost like you create this lightning bolt shape with the legs. Now, this might be enough. Maybe this feels good. If you want a little more depth in this stretch, take your right heel, hook it on top of your left knee, and then you use that as leverage to push your hips forward, as if you're thrusting your hips forward to create a deeper sensation into this stretch, into the front of that left hip flexor, into the quad. Release the hook, inhale, come back to center. And we're just gonna switch it out. So your feet are at the outer edges of the mat. We inhale first, exhale, both knees fall to the left. If you did the hook on one side, do it on the other side. But you use that foot into the knee as leverage to thrust and push your hips forward. And then releasing the hook, inhale, come to center. Go ahead, bring your feet to come back in front of the hips. And then we're gonna take our right ankle, cross it over your left knee. Inhale, and on the exhale, lift the chest, reach through that little keyhole, interlace all 10 fingers behind the left thigh. And then you pull the legs towards the face. Use that right elbow to gently push that right knee open a little more. And then let the head come back down to the mat. Relax the jaw, relax the skin of the face. If it's in your practice to interlace in front of the shin, you could do that. Some people like to extend left leg straight and interlace behind the calf. You could try that too if you want. Pull the knees a little bit tighter. Use that elbow. Push that one knee forward a little more. And then nice and slow, release that. Going right to the other side. So the right foot comes into the mat, left ankle crosses over right knee. Inhale first, and then as you exhale, you lift the chest. You reach through the little keyhole, interlace all 10 fingers behind the right thigh. Start to pull the legs towards the face. At the same time, you use that left elbow to gently pry the knee forward more on the left side. Head is down on the mat. Breathing. These sensations that a stretch brings on, one of the first things that happens is we squeeze our jaw. So relax the jaw. Actually allow the body to open up and let go here. Now you can interlace in front of the shin. You can extend right leg straight, whatever you want to do, whatever variation of this stretch you want to take. And pull the legs a little bit closer, open that knee a little more. Nice and slow, release that. Very good. Go ahead, hug the knees into the chest once more. Give yourself a big old squeeze. And then flex your feet and flex both feet up towards the sky for waterfall. Arms can come alongside body. You could even rest the hands on the belly or on the heart if you want. And breathe here. If it's in your practice to use a block underneath the bum, underneath the sacrum, that lowest portion of the back, you can go ahead and grab a block, kind of lift the hips and bring it under here. We're just gonna be here for a few breaths. So you have time to grab a block if you wanna grab it. Reverse blood flow into the legs, and just close your eyes here. Flip the palms up towards the sky if they're down, and let the hands rest easy. And nice and slow, just start to bend the knees, bring the feet back into the mat. If you're on a block, just press into the heels, lift the hips, set that block over to the side, and then extend legs back out long. Palms are still shining up towards the sky. And then we're just gently gonna start to oscillate into the neck. So looking over to the right, and then over to the left, and then just keep doing that at your own pace. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. Just going from left to right a few times. And then go ahead and do it one more time on each side. And once you've done that, reaching your arms back up and overhead once again, stretching really long, pulling the body in opposite directions. Point the toes, flex the feet, and then hugging the knees into the chest. Cross one ankle over the other. Rock yourself up into a seated position. We're gonna come into a child's pose. So you can choose knees together for your child's pose, or you could even have knees separated. Whatever you like to do in your practice, doing that. Reaching fingers as far away from you as you possibly can. Allowing the hips to sink back towards the heels. And breathe. Each time you inhale, I want you to feel the back of the rib cage expand, grow larger as it stretches all the muscles that support it. And then as you exhale, I want you to feel the body sink deeper. And then go ahead, look forward. Take your right hand out to the right, one big step. And then your left hand's gonna come on top of the right hand. So right hand comes out and then left hand comes right on top. And then as you exhale, you're gonna melt forehead down towards the mat. You get this nice stretch into that left side of the body, a lateral stretch. As you inhale, I want you to imagine that you're sending the entire breath into that left lung. And that lung expands and stretches into the rib cage, into the lats, into the muscles on the left side of the body. And then nice and slow, crawling back through center, inhale. And then on the exhale, the left hand steps out to the left. The right hand stacks on top of the left. And then on the exhale, you slowly let the chest fall through the shoulders, heart down towards the mat. Forehead or even the chin into the mat as you stretch laterally, breathing into that right side of the body. And then crawling back through center. Start to tiptoe with your fingers all the way to the very edge of your mat. And then come up a little bit, halfway. Bring these under hips so our knees aren't wide anymore. Take your hands one more big step. We're setting up puppy pose. So you come here, either hands flat into the earth, or some people like to do fingertips into the earth. Inhale, and then on the exhale, you let the heart melt past the shoulders into the mat. Either chin into the mat or forehead, whatever feels good for you. And just allowing those hips to stay high. So it's kind of like a child's pose, but with hips up. Should feel really good throughout the entire spine, especially you'll feel it in the shoulders, in like the shoulder blade area. And then as you inhale here, pause at the top, and then exhale, let the back arch more. Let the chest sink more. Exhale, just let the body melt. And then nice and slow, coming up into tabletop. So walking the hands back, coming into a tabletop, wrists under elbows, elbows under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll do a few cat-cows here. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chin, look up at the sky. Pull your lower teeth to touch your upper teeth so you get this nice stretch into the skin of the neck. And then exhale, push the mat away, round into the back. Let the head drop completely. And then just continue doing this at your own breath, at your own pace. And you can be expressive with your movements here. If you like to roll into the rib cage, kind of letting the rib cage spill out to the right and then down and then over to the left and back up. Just following that breath. Do this 2 more times wherever you're at. And then we'll meet back in that flat back neutral spine. Lower belly's lifted in and up, pushing the mat away. Take those inner creases of the elbows, spiral them forward. So you're squeezing into the arms to create this spiral of the elbows. And then we're going to extend our right toes behind us. Left hand is going to karate chop the floor in front of us. Exhale. Inhale, rising both arm and leg. Spinal balance. So imagine that you're trying to touch the back wall with your foot, but you're also trying to touch the front wall with your fingers. You're squeezing through the muscles to create this length, to create this strength. Remember to breathe. Try to look forward rather than down. Inhale. And then on the exhale, crunch it in, elbow taps the knee. Inhale, extend it back out long and strong. Squeeze, lock it out. Exhale, elbow taps the knee. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, elbow taps the knee. Inhale, reaching out. Now choose to stay here, or if you want, coming into tiger pose. Start to bend the right heel in towards the glute. The left hand sweeps back, grabs the top of the foot. Now rather than pulling the foot with the hand, you kick the foot into the hand. This pulls that left shoulder back, opening the heart. Brings a nice curve into the spine. Strengthens into the leg. You don't stop kicking, you gotta keep kicking. Kick a little higher. Inhale, hold. And then nice and slow, extending arm and leg back out for spinal balance. Breathing here. Go ahead, let that left hand come back down into the mat. Square off the right foot to the back of the mat. And then this left foot's gonna kick out like a kickstand. Root through the left hand, rise through the right. Now you can stay just like this, or if you really want to challenge, lift that right leg to a hover. And then this right arm is going to reach forward towards the mirror. Inhale. Exhale, crunching through the right side of the body, the elbow is going to tap the knee. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, reach it out. Only one more. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, reach it out. Reach that right hand back up towards the sky. Set that right foot back down, squared off to the back of the mat. Options to stay here and breathe, or coming into Vashisthasana, side plank. So to get there, you'll press through the left hand, you'll lift that left knee, step the left foot in front of the right. Keep those hips nice and high. Now if it's in your practice to stack the feet, you can stack the feet. If it's in your practice to lift a leg, you can lift a leg. Whatever challenge you want to create here, go for it. Don't hold back. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, nice and slow. Start to bring that right hand back into the mat. Set the knees down. Push back, child's pose. Just take a moment here to feel your heart beating, to feel your lungs breathing, to feel the body living. Nice and slow, coming back up, tabletop. And then from here, we're going to extend our left toes behind us. Karate chop the floor in front of you with your right hand. Exhale, and then inhale, rise both arm and leg. They rise up seamlessly, as if it was one part. Reaching the body in opposite directions. Reaching for that front mirror, and then also stretching that foot back for the back wall. Squeezing through the knee, squeezing through the elbow to create this lock. Using the muscles to create it. Inhale. Exhale, crunch it in, elbow taps in. Inhale, reach it out, lock it out, squeeze. Exhale, crunch it in, elbow taps the knee. Inhale, reach it out, squeeze. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, reaching out. Options to stay here or enter tiger pose. Bending that left knee, reaching that right hand back, grabbing the top of the foot, and then you kick the foot into the hand. Pulls that right shoulder back, opens the heart. Keep kicking. You start to feel the muscles burn. That's when you breathe, and that's when you kick harder, kick higher, lift up, inhale. Exhale. Slowly coming back into spinal balance. Using control to move from one shape to the next. And then we're just going to set that right hand down. Square off that left foot to the back of the mat, and then set it down. This right foot kicks out like a kickstand. We root through the right hand and rise through the left. Option one, stay here, or lift that back leg. Make sure you're flexing the foot. You'll feel this in that glute medius. It'll burn. Breathe. And then the left hand's going to reach forward towards the mirror. So we create this nice straight line from heel to fingers. Inhale. Exhale, crunch it in, elbow taps the knee. Inhale, reach it out, long, strong, squeeze, lock it out here. And then exhale, elbow taps the knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, reach. Breathing here. And then we're going to set that back foot down. Now options to stay here or coming into Vashisthasana side plank. Pressing through that right hand, you lift the right knee and then you step the right foot in front of the left. Or you could stack the feet. You could even lift that left leg up if you want. Come into a tree pose. Being creative here. That arm shaking is completely normal. You breathe through it. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bringing that left hand back down to the mat. And then go ahead, set the knees down for a modified plank. Shifting the hips forward. So it's still a challenge even though knees are down. And then nice and slow, we're going to roll the body down. So you're going to shave the sides of the body with the elbows as the thighs come down first. Then the hips. Then the belly button. Then the ribs. Then the heart. And then hands are going to come into a Sphinx pose. So hands and forearms into the mat. It's almost like watching TV, except we're engaged. So you press into the elbows to lift the chest. And then you use the hands into the mat to literally drag your heart forward. Tops of the feet flat into the mat. Squeezing through the legs. Squeeze through the legs so much that your kneecaps barely touch the mat. And then from here, we're going to start to bend into the right knee. Now you can stay just like this, or this right hand's going to reach back, grab the foot, and you're going to pull to stretch. Now you can choose to keep this left arm as it is. You could even come down, resting the cheek onto the left arm or on top of the hand. But you pull that right heel towards the glute to stretch. Make sure that you're still keeping that right hip connected to the mat as if you're thrusting the hips into the mat, because this creates more depth in the stretch. Relax your jaw. Nice and slow release that. Coming back into Sphinx. And we're going to do the other side. So bending the left knee in, reaching back, pull to stretch. Keep that left hip, press it into the mat. And then nice and slow releasing it. Coming back into Sphinx Pose. And then go ahead and bend both knees. Take your right hand, reach back, grab the outer edge of the foot. Take your left hand, reach back, grab the outer edge of the foot. Bring chin into the mat. Exhale to prepare. Inhale, power up. Kick the feet into the hands, rising up, bow pose. Don't stop kicking. Keep kicking. And don't stop breathing. Keep breathing. Look up towards the ceiling. Keep looking back, ceiling tile by ceiling tile. Remember to keep breathing when we look up. A lot of times we hold our breath. Kick higher. Hold. Nice and slow. Release that. Bring the left cheek into the mat. Looking over to the right. Listen to your heart. We're going to do that one more time. So chin into the mat, bending both feet or both knees, and then reaching back, grabbing the feet. Exhale to prepare. And then inhale, power breath. Kick the feet into the hands and rise up. This is a very stimulating pose. It makes the heart beat. It makes the heart beat faster and faster the longer we hold it. You breathe. You remain completely in control as you hold this asana. Keep kicking, kick higher. Inhale, lift. Exhale, slowly release that. Going to the other cheek, right cheek into the ear, looking to the left. And then bringing hands alongside the rib cage, chin back into the mat. Pull the wrists back until you feel them stacked underneath your elbows. Curl your toes under and press yourself up into a tabletop. Toes stay curled under, and then we're just going to press our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Most of us, this is our first down dog today. So pedal out the feet, bend into the right knee while keeping the left leg straight, and then switching that out. Sometimes it feels really good if you come really high up onto the toes, you bend the knees, and then you press the chest towards the thighs. That always feels really good. Just be whatever little tweaks you want to work out here. Following your breath to do that. And then whenever you're ready, you find stillness. You let the heels melt towards the earth. Feet hip width distance apart. Pressing hips up and back towards the back wall. Pushing your shoulders out of socket like you're reaching for something. Core engaged. Ears with biceps. between your thumbs. Walk, step, tiptoe, hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana, looking forward, back flat like a table. Exhale, fold, let go, let the head drop, let the jaw drop, let the arms just flop down. Circle your arms up, inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Circle your arms up, inhale. Exhale, folding all the way back down. Uttanasana, let that head drop. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, fingers either into the mat or into the shins. And then exhale, hands come flat, step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. High plank. Squeeze through literally every muscle of the body, except from the collarbones up. We remain poised and soft in our jaw, in the skin of the face. Push the mat away from you. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, Vinyasa flow. So options to either do baby cobra or upward facing dog. And then on the exhale, you roll under the toes. Push back, downward facing dog. Pushing them out away from you, not letting the shoulders sink into the sockets, reaching them out. Look forward between your thumbs. Walk, step, hop, tiptoe to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Big inhale, exhale, fold, drop down. Circle your arms up, inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, folding straight back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha. Ardha means half, so we halfway rise. Exhale, hands into the earth. This time, step your left foot back first, then your right foot. High plank. If you really want to challenge yourself in your planks, bring your feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga, Vinyasa flow. Using control as you lower down. Taking your time as you inhale into your back bend, and then exhale, pushing up and back. Downward facing dog. One more round of sun salutations, creating this internal heat, warming the body. Look forward between your thumbs. Walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Look forward, flat like a table. Exhale, fold, let go. Circle your arms up, inhale, reach. Exhale, folding straight back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, options this time to step or hop back. If you hop back, just land with your elbows at a slight bend and then extending them back straight to hold this plank just for a breath. Big breath, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga. When you're ready, pressing hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, pull the right knee into the chest. Look between the thumbs. See where you're going to set that right foot down and then set it down. Back foot's going to spin flat, so heels match with heels. Circle your arms up, inhale, reach, warrior one. Inhale, straighten that front leg, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, bend into the elbows, bend into that front knee. Options to keep that right foot flat or rise up onto the toes. Sink a little deeper. Inhale, straighten that front leg, reach. Exhale, open the heart, cactus arms, press the chest, sink into that front knee, lift the heel if you want. Set the heel down, inhale, lifting up, reaching, straightening into that front leg. Inhale, exhale, bend into that front knee. Cactus arms, you use the muscles to pull them down the back. As you stretch, lift the heel if you want. If you lifted the heel, set it down. Keeping that front knee bent, just extending arms up for warrior one. Inhale here. On the exhale, roll into the ball of this left toe. Set the left knee down. Left top of the foot is going to come flat. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, twisting open to the right. So you're really focusing on using your core muscles to twist. Sink into that front knee a little more. Create a challenge. And then from here, we're going to take our right hand. We're going to reach back and grab our left hip. And then this left hand's going to come on the other side of the right knee. Inhale. Exhale, look back, twist. Nice and slow, release your twist. Both hands come on top of that right knee. Curl the left toes under. Lift the left knee. Arms reach up. Inhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. Step your right foot back to meet your left. High plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Now at any time you can skip a vinyasa and go straight to down dog or straight to child's pose. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Left leg rises, three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, crunch it in, knee to chest. Look between the thumbs, see where that foot's gonna come down into the mat and then plant it into the mat. Back foot spins flat. Circle your arms up, inhale, reach, warrior one. Don't be afraid to get deep in that front knee, to get deep in your warrior one. Now inhale, straighten into that front knee, reach for the sky. And then exhale, bending into the elbows, bending into that front leg, opening your heart. You press your heart forward. If you want to lift the heel and sink a little deeper. Inhale, straighten front leg, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, bend. Lift the heel if you want. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bend. And from here, we just reach our arms back up, warrior one. Rolling onto the ball of the right toes, setting the right knee down, right top of the foot comes flat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twisting to the left. And then this left hand reaches back behind the back to grab the right hip. Left hand, or I've got it wrong, right hand grabs the knee. We inhale first, and then exhale, twist. Sorry. Looking back, twisting more. And then releasing your twist, both hands come on top of that left knee. Curl your right toes under, lift your right knee, circle arms up, inhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, reach. Exhale, circle arms back down into the mat, square off that left foot, step the left foot back to meet the right. High plank. Look forward. We're gonna do a little push-up. So it's not a full push-up, it's about 3 inches. You're gonna bend the elbows back and then straighten. 2 more times. Back, straighten. 1 more, bend them back. And straighten, push hips up and back, downward facing dog. Start to walk the hands back towards the feet, into a fold, Uttanasana. And then 1 vertebrae at a time, rising up. The head is the last thing to rise. Roll shoulders up, back, and down the spine, belly engaged. We're gonna start to shift the weight into our left foot. The right toes are barely gonna touch the earth. And then we're going to flex into the right foot. So now we're balancing, we're already balancing here. Start to pull that right knee up. Breathing here. Now take this left hand on the right knee. Right hand's gonna come back. Choose to stay looking forward, or if you really want to challenge your balance, you slowly start to bring your gaze to that back hand. Slowly looking back forward. Bringing that right hand to match up with the left hand. Pull the knee in tight. And now options to repeat that, or left peace sign fingers are gonna wrap around that right big toe. You can go ahead and reach that right hand back if you want, and then slowly start to kick this right foot into that left hand. Look forward, look back. Nice and slow, start to look back forward. Release the foot, set it down. Take a breath. Now starting to shift the weight into the right foot. Pulling the left heel up off of the earth. The toes barely touch the earth to start. Then we flex the foot. So now we're already balancing here. Pull that knee up higher. Right hand grabs left knee. Left hand reaches back. Stay looking forward or look back. If you look back nice and slow. Focus on that right foot. You press that big toe into the earth like there's a thumbtack in the floor and you're shoving it in with your toe. What this does is it helps to create strength in the ankle, prevents the ankle from rocking. Nice and slow, looking back forward first. Keeping that knee up. If you need to take a little break and set it down, you can. Otherwise, keeping it lifted. Now choose to repeat that. Or, right peace sign fingers are going to wrap around the left big toes. And then the left hand's going to reach to the back wall. When you're ready, you start to extend that left leg straight. Stay looking forward or look back. Nice and slow, looking back forward, and then setting that foot down. Shake it out. Hands are going to come to the hips. We're going to bring our feet about hip width distance apart. Come up nice and high onto the toes, and then we're going to extend our hands forward. So palms facing towards the earth. We're going to start to sit back into our imaginary chair. As you sit down, you'll notice that the heels lift more. You create more strength into the soles of the feet as you lower down. Take your time. Getting down to that peak where you feel as if this is where you could hold it. You could stay here all day if you wanted. And then nice and slow, inhale, straighten. Keep high up onto the toes. One more time, sit down. Slowly, slowly. Come all the way down. Fingertips into the earth. Crawl your hands forward, let the knees open wide, and then let the chest melt towards the earth. If you allow the heels to kind of sink, you'll feel a nice stretch into the Achilles tendons, even into the calves. And then from here, start to walk your hands back towards your hips. And then we're just gonna step our right foot out flat and then our left foot out flat as we come into a Malasana. Hands at the heart, pressing triceps into the thighs to open hips. And then from here, right arm reaches out, left arm reaches up. If it's in your practice to bind, you can go for a bind. If it's in your practice to come up into flamingo, you start to kind of heel toe this left toe in, almost like you're coming up into bird of paradise. And then you come up high onto these right toes, slowly rising up. Flamingo. It's just something fun to try. Imagine it's like you're entering bird of paradise, except the knee is locked in the arm rather than behind the knee. Take your time. Very nice. Nice and slow, whatever variation you're in, bringing hands back to heart center into Malasana. And then just coming into the other side. So the left arm reaches out, right arm reaches up. If you want to bind, bind. If you want to try flamingo on this side, go for it. Sometimes one side's a little better than the other, a little more open. Nice and slow, whatever variation you're in, coming back down, hands to heart center. Bringing your butte into the mat. Knees bent, feet into the mat. Go ahead, wrap your hands behind the thighs, under the knees. We're going to set up for Navasana boat pose. And from here, you're just going to start to sit back. The toes will barely hover over the earth. Now you can stay like this, or bring calves parallel. You can stay here, or release the hands from the thighs and reach forward. Remain calm. Remain in control. Relax the jaw. Nice and slow, bring the feet back into the earth. Bringing hands behind us. So option one, fingers are going to face towards your bum. Option two, fingers are going to face outward toward the outer edges of the mat. Last option, fingers will face completely back towards the back wall. Whatever feels good for you on your wrists, do that. Exhale. Inhale, press into the heels to lift the hips for reverse plank. So focus more here on pressing into the heels to lift the hips rather than squeezing into the glutes. If it's in your practice to let the head drop back, you can let the head drop back. Just make sure that your neck feels good. Inhale, one more breath. Exhale, set the hips back down into the mat. Reach your hands forward, shift back, boat pose. Now on this second one, options to repeat what we just did, or hands will come behind you. Your legs are going to stay straight. You exhale, and then you inhale, you press into the heels to get the feet flat into the mat. Let the head drop if it's in your practice. Squeeze into the arms, lift those hips. Heart shining, breathing. Holding for a little longer than we'd like, just to create a challenge. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, nice and slow, bring the hips back down into the earth. Feet are already in front of us. Flex the feet, squeeze the two legs together to create one. Circle your arms up, inhale, reach. Exhale, folding forward, Paschimottanasana. Either stretching with a flat back or rounding into the back. Some days we need to round down, other days a flat back is what suits us. So just listening to the body and following what it's telling you. Relax your jaw. Nice and slow. Rise up. And then from here, you're just going to bring your right foot to the right corner of the mat. Left sole of the foot's going to come into the right thigh. Circle your arms up. Inhale, reach. A slight twist over to the right. And then exhale, folding forward over that right leg. Stretching. Releasing. Refreshing. Recharging. Notice if that left shoulder is kind of coming up higher than the right, and if it is, just rotating it back down to keep shoulders in alignment with one another. And then bend into the elbows, pull yourself deeper. Slowly rise. We're just going to switch it out. So now the left sole of the foot's going to come to the left corner of the mat. Right sole of the foot comes into the left thigh. Circle your arms up, inhale, reach, slight twist over to the left, and then as you exhale, folding forward over that left leg, grabbing either the knee, the calf, the ankle, even out past the foot, being thankful for all of the things that you are, and being proud of that. The self is divine. The self is at the core of every being as a lake hidden in the mountains. Therefore, such attributes as kindness, compassion, and selflessness need not to be learned. They come from within. From the self, they are already there. All you need to do is clear the dirt that hides them. Bringing hands to heart center in prayer. For the words we say to others, we say with love, kindness, and compassion. And then the thumbs come to the lips. For the words we say to ourselves, we say with love, kindness, and compassion. And then thumbs come to the third eye. We look with our eyes, but we see with our souls. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. May the highest in me honor the highest in you. Namaste. Namaste. Taking all the time you need here. In Shavasana.